Never recorded that before. I hope you heard that. Jay, you may have to turn the audio up on that. As soon as we turned the camera on, they started their pack howling sequence. They do this once, twice a day, and you never know when. And as soon as Jay had the mic hot, they started the howling. You notice Star was wanting to howl. She did when she's out there with them. It's just an awesome thing. I was on the phone with a friend of mine a few weeks ago, and all of a sudden, some of the dogs were just outside my window, and some were in that kennel, some were in that kennel, and they started the howling thing. And he said, "What is that?" And I just took the phone and held it up to the window, and he was like, "Wow, that is so cool. What are they doing?" I said, "Well, they're just howling. It's what they do once, twice a day, and you never know." And that's the first time I've been able to capture that. Wow, that was great. That's just a little freebie for you. This video was not about dog howling. It was about measuring food for your puppy or your dog. There's so much to proper food measurements. Man, there's just a lot. I hope I can hit the high points for you. There's just a lot to it. Number one, the amounts on the bag. If you buy commercial dog food, which I do, I feed my adult dogs Victor Hero Canine, and it just does really, really good. I've used it now for a long time, and it's a fantastic base. I use a lot of supplements, the vitamins, the joint supplements, very important for German Shepherds. You want to know what vitamins and joint supplements I use? They're on my website, GermanShepherdman.com. It's under the recommended products, health and nutrition page. Very important. But anyway, back to food. On the bag, it'll tell you for different age dogs or puppies, feed between this amount and this amount daily. The bag is a guide, okay? Their energy level, their drives. Some of these dogs are real laid back. Some are high drive dogs. So if you have a high drive dog, they're gonna need more calories per day, especially if they're working and going and living out like this property, got a lot of places to run, and they spend a lot of energy every day. They're gonna need possibly more than the bag says. So their energy and their exercise level has a lot to do with their daily calorie intake. If you have a dog that lives in the home and doesn't do a lot, maybe it's one of those laid back dogs and it goes on walks in the morning and the evening, but it's not a hard charging, high drive, hard working dog. They're not gonna need as much calories. Plus the time of year has a lot to do with it. Think about it. Their normal body temperature is 101 to 102-ish, okay? And that's a little warmer than human bodies. So if it's cold and they spend time outside, my dogs love 25 degrees. Oh, they just love, that's their favorite ambient temperature. When it's 25 degrees, they just love it. They love it when it's cooler like that. And in the summertime, they just like to find the coolest place they can find and just stay there for most of the day. I mean, I live near Tallahassee, Florida. It gets hot and humid. I mean, it can be mid-90s to over 100 degrees many days during the summer. Now, think about this. If it's 25, 30, 35 degrees, and they're out and they're loving it, their body temp at 101 to 102 has to be maintained. In the summertime, when it's 100-ish degrees, they don't need as many calories to keep their internal system at 101 degrees. If it's cold, they need more calories because those calories are being used to generate heat, keep their body temp at that 101, 102. So that has a time of year, can have a lot to do with how much you feed your dog, okay? I told you at the beginning of this video, there's a lot to the amount the right amount to feed a dog. I don't feed my dogs as much in the summertime as the winter because they don't want it, they don't need it. They just normally eat less in the summer. Now, I have a couple of measuring devices here. I wanted to show you this. I use this for puppies. This is a 1 cup measuring device. And I've got, oh, he's asleep. I would get him. He's been running and gunning. I got a little puppy over there, and he's been really rolling. He's asleep. But I was going to bring him over here. I'll let him lay. But he eats 3 times a day, and he's not a high food drive dog. He doesn't live to eat. He eats to live. And he'll eat about 2/3 of this 3 times a day. If I give him this whole cup, he won't eat it all. He'll just eat about 2/3, maybe 3/4 of it, and leave the rest. So he's one of those dogs that you can allow to give them a little more than they normally would eat and just take the rest up after 10 minutes. So this is a 1 cup measuring little scoop, and that's what I use for him because it's really handy. And this is a larger scoop that I use for the adult dogs, and it has lines in it so I can tell what 1 cup is. You want to come in here, Jay, a little bit? These lines, this is not clean, I just got it out of the dog food canister. This line tells me that that's 1 cup. This line tells me that that's 2 cups. And of course, full would be 2.5 cups. So I'm going to take this 1 cup of food, hold this still for you, Jay, and I'm going to put it, whoops, spilled a little bit. And you see that 1 cup here goes right up to the line, the 1 cup line on this scoop. So you can measure really good, okay? Now, what I do, the main thing that I look for to find out if my dog, whatever age, is eating the right amount of food. And it's what comes out of them. If their poopy comes out nice and well formed and firm, that's a great sign that they're getting the right amount of food. If you're overfeeding your dog or puppy, their poopy will be soft. And if you're overfeeding, a lot of people raise a puppy and they want it to look good 6, 7, 8, 9 months old. They're naturally real thin and lean during those months, and they want it to look good. They want it to look like a mature dog, so they overfeed it. Hey, if your dog's poopies are coming out soft and slushy, you need to back up on the food. You don't want your 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14-month-old German Shepherd puppy to look like a mature dog. They're not. You want to grow them slowly. You want them to eat slowly. The right vitamins and the right joint supplements are very, very, very important. I mean, the ones I've been giving for over 20 years now, it's what I do. Because when you grow them slowly and they get the right joint supplements, that helps their joints and their bones be set properly so that when they are an adult dog and get older, they're much less likely to have joint issues. So it's really important. So feeding the right amount, don't just read the bag and go, oh, that's the right amount. Judge the exercise level. Judge the size of your dog. Judge whether or not they are high food drive or low food drive dog. But most of all, check those poopies and make sure they're nice and firm and well formed. That's a big key to knowing whether or not you are feeding your dog the right amount. Hope you learned something from that. You'll learn something from this if you're getting a puppy, you just got a puppy, and you want to be confident about how to raise your puppy, not just feeding, but in every aspect. I put together my own personal puppy training system, and it's what I do when I take a little puppy and raise it up every step of the way. It's on my website, GermanShepherdMan.com. The link is in the description below. Thank all of you from all of us here in German Shepherd land, GermanShepherdMan.com.